Hi everyone, welcome back to All for the Kids with Miss Connor. I hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to read part 3 of Geronimo Stilton's book, Lost Treasure of the Emerald Eye. I hope that you guys enjoy, and if you haven't listened to parts 1 and 2, I'll have those links below in the video description. I hope you guys enjoy. Take me with you. On my way home, I stopped by to say hello to my favorite nephew, Benjamin. He's a cute little guy with tiny flappy ears. "Uncle, read me a story," he cried when he saw me, so I sat down in the big comfy chair in the den. Ben loves stories. When he was younger, he always zonked out before I had a chance to finish my tale. That's why I dedicated my book, Stilton's Cheesy Tales for Tiny Mice, to him. To Ben, I wrote, "May you stay awake long enough to finish this book. Today I can hardly believe my little nephew is already 9 years old. I remember when he was just a squeaky little thing, drinking cheese sauce from a baby bottle." "You're going on a trip?" Ben asked when he heard about my plans. "Oh, please, please, please take me with you, Uncle. I can be your assistant. I can carry your notebooks, and I can sharpen your pencils with my cat tooth pencil sharpener," he pleaded. "Sorry, Ben," I said, ruffling his fur. "Maybe next time when you're a little older." Then I laid my right paw on my heart and tugged at my whiskers with my left paw. This is a salute that we mice use on special occasions. It means that the hearts of two mice who love each other will always stay connected. Anything missing? 15 pounds of extra sharp cheese, 80 boxes of mac and cheese, 10 tubs of Swiss, 9 bags of nacho cheese chips, unsalted. The next morning, I stood on the deck of the Lucky Lady, reading out a list of our supplies. What a mess! Trap filled up the water tank. I instructed my cousin, but instead of filling the water tank, he poured water into the fuel tank. "What are you doing?" I squeaked. "I think you had better lay off the extra sharp. It seems to be affecting your brain." I turned to my sister. "Thea, run and get me the compass I ordered down at Boats, Masts, and Beyond. Ask to see the owner, Squeaky LaRue, also known as the Squeak. He's a tall, thin gray mouse with a tail so furry you could use it to dust every room in your mouse hole." Just then, I noticed Trap talking to a young ship rat on the boat next to ours. "That's right, my young rat friend," he whispered. "Don't tell anyone. We're looking for something, but I can't tell you what. It begins with a T and ends with an E. That's right, it's on an island." Quick as a cat at a mouse convention, I leaped up and yanked Trap away by the tail. "Are you going to blurt out the whole story about the treasure?" I hissed. Trap gave me an innocent smile. "Did I mention a treasure? There are lots of words that begin with T and end with E, you know," he smirked. "Telephone, for example. Or how about tic-tac-toe?" I banged my head against the side of the ship. By 6 o'clock that night, we had finished loading. I rushed to Rat's Authority, the best store in town for sporting goods. "Can you help me, please?" I said to Scratch, the mouse who owns the place. "I want to get everything I would need for a long sea voyage, and I'm in a big rush, so if you could hurry." "Well, tickle me with a cat fur feather, if it isn't Geronimo Stilton, the newspaper mouse," Scratch cried. "What an honor." He then began to drag out everything in the entire store. My head was spinning. There were 10 pairs of waterproof underwear, a floppy cheddar-colored straw hat that squeaked if you stayed out in the sun too long, and a life wrap shaped like a slice of cheese on a 5-foot-long cracker. "I also need a suitcase," I said to Scratch, "or better yet, a big trunk." "I've got just the thing for a sharp mouse like you, Mr. Stilton," he remarked, his eyes gleaming. "Follow me." He led me to the back of the store, where he unlocked the door to a small room. Then, like the famous magician Harry Routini, he lifted a silk cloth with a flourish. There stood a trunk as tall as a circus mouse on stilts. It was covered in bright yellow leather that glowed in the dark. It was as wide as a giant from Rat and the Beanstalk and as long as the line for cheese Danish at the bakery on Sunday morning. Isn't it a beauty? Asked Scratch. I nodded and carefully lifted the lid. Holy cheese! You could fit a sumo mouse inside. I spotted several coat hangers made of cheesecloth and a whole shelf just for hats. There was a shiny cat tooth comb and a wire brush for tough whiskers. The trunk also had space for office supplies, paper, pens, paperweights, a tiny, tiny secret compartment, you name it. I'll take it, I squeaked. I knew you would like it, Mr. Stilton. This is the real deal, he beamed, running his paws over the trunk. It's just the thing for an adventurous seagoing mouse such as yourself. Wish you could take me along. Geronimo Stilton, fearless sailor of the high seas, I thought, had a nice ring to it. I just might enjoy this trip after all. Ah, the cool breeze blowing in off the sea. Ah, that salty smell of seaweed. I was starting to get into this sailing thing. It was so relaxing, sort of like sitting in Great-Grandma Tanglefur's rocking chair, holding the tiller of the Lucky Lady in my paws. I stared out over the ocean waves. It was dawn and the sun was just coming up, pale as a slice of Swiss cheese. We had just left the harbor, but I felt as if I'd been sailing all my life. I was wearing a bright yellow windbreaker jacket with matching yellow pants and my new yellow hat. Can you guess what my favorite color is? Yep, there's nothing like a little yellow to cheer up a mouse. It is the most popular color on our island. We have yellow cars, yellow schools, and yellow airplanes. In fact, one year, even Santa Mouse wore a yellow suit instead of a red one. My nephew Ben wasn't too crazy about that, though. I smiled. I missed Ben so much. Funny how such a small mouse could give you such a big heartache. My daydreams were interrupted by Trap. He appeared on deck, munching on a bag of nacho cheese chips. Hey there, cousin, he squeaked, with his mouth full. Want some? Be careful, I warned. Don't get any grease on the deck. You're such a worrywart, he muttered, laying his greasy paw right on the deck. I closed my eyes and counted to 10. Just bring me my chart, I sighed. I need to see if we are on course for Treasure Island. Hey, no problemo, my little cousin, squeaked Trap, waving a life buoy at me. He did a little dance. Look out, I shrieked. You almost stepped on my glasses. I broke out in a cold sweat without my glasses. I couldn't tell the difference between a slice of mozzarella and a hunk of cheddar. Why, oh why, had we brought him along? So that's the end of part 3, and we will be reading part 4 coming up shortly. I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back soon.